Carroll's joining us too. We have a public hearing before we get to the regular council meeting. All persons are reminded this session is being recorded on tape for the preservation of records, and you are asked when called upon to give your name, address, and interest in the matter before the council. That matter being discussion of ordinance 537, an ordinance concerning a general obligation bond for the removal and replacement of water mains and service lines for specific streets. And we're going to talk about that bond later on in the regular council meeting. It's currently listed at $740,000, but we were going to increase it to $1,070,000 to take advantage of Lower Beckleysville Road, which, though it's a 1970s pipe, I'm still trying to find something that was built well and engineered well in the 1970s. It seems like they tried a whole lot of new product or new design and none of it worked. But at any rate, it's had a catastrophic failure this year and a couple in 2016, and it's not in good shape with the low interest rate environment we're in. And this would pretty much be the last really large capital outlay that we have for the water improvement, for the water system. Having been here for as long as I have, it's been a catch-up experience ever since, and this would pretty much end that phase of it. The catch-up phase of all the water improvements we've needed. So is there any comment up here or out there related to the planned water bond? Best I heard 2.9%, 20 years, fixed, call date, even with the date for the Main Street water line. Call date means we can, or the bank can call the maturity. I don't think either will happen. We might if the rates stay as low as they are. Any discussion at all? Go once, twice? All right, 3 times. Done. Do they just automatically tune in at 7:30? What's the deal?
Probably tuned in at 7:15, but that's okay.
All right.
Yes, they automatically do.
All right. Can we tell by the green light back there?
No.
Huh?
No.
No? Okay. All right. We'll call the regular meeting of the mayor and council to order. Please rise for the prayer and the pledge of allegiance. Dear Lord, we submit ourselves to you as your servants and the servants of the people of Hampstead who place their trust in us. Please allow every word that is spoken and every action taken to be in the best interest of Hampstead. O Lord, bless this meeting and our town. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tammy, take the roll.
Mayor Newman?
Here.
Councilwoman Duff?
Here.
Councilwoman Painter? Here. Councilman Renahan?
Here.
Councilman Thomas?
Here.
Councilman Unglesby?
Here. Good. All present and accounted for. Minute approvals from the October 13th.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, Tammy, when you're ready.
For our downtown revitalization project, our virtual partnering meetings continue to be held monthly. Last week, C.G. Miller built a wedging layer on Main Street to level out imperfections within the current roadway. This week, crews are laying the final asphalt surface starting from Shiloh Avenue and traveling north to the Northern Railroad tracks. Yesterday, they completed the northbound lane in this section, and today they completed the southbound lane. And during this work, on-street parking was temporarily unavailable. A different crew will apply the thermoplastic pavement markings as weather permits. After the Main Street is paved and marked, another crew will bring in a smaller piece of equipment to apply the parking space lines in the side parking lots where areas were previously paved. Within the project, there are Verizon lines that are hanging below the top of our newly installed lamp post. Verizon evaluated these locations and determined that most lines could be raised on the existing poles. However, to raise the lines in the middle of town, 4 phone poles will need to be replaced with taller poles. All poles are on the southbound lane. 2 are north of Gill Avenue and 2 are south of Gill Avenue. This work has not yet been scheduled. BG&E and Comcast previously completed the necessary adjustments to avoid these conflicts. All the cluster boxes have been installed north of 482 except the one that will be located near 1410 North Main Street. The single mailboxes will be removed as the post office is gradually transferring mail to the new cluster boxes. I think they'll probably wait to continue to do this after Christmas. Between the election and Christmas deliveries, they'll pick this back up in January. C.J. Miller installed the concrete pad for the rest of the boxes between Shiloh Avenue and 42 on the southbound lane. The post office will install 1 cluster box per month as their budget allows. These residents and businesses currently do not receive direct mail delivery and are required to pick up their mail at the post office. When the construction work has been completed, a final inspection will be conducted. Crews may remain on Main Street afterwards addressing items discussed during the inspection.
Finally, no 5-gallon jugs filled with concrete and a mailbox post on it.
I think there are a couple.
They're not all gone.
They're not all
They
gone
will
yet.
be.
They will be. They will be.
Lighting? You're gonna add that piece?
I thought you were going to talk about it.
The lighting of the,
Oh.
not the Christmas lighting.
The lamppost. I'm so excited. They were going to, BG&E scheduled to drop the power to our less photo cell equipment box to light the rest of our lamppost, but they scheduled it for November 23rd. So I called and said, can you move it up so all the lampposts will be lit during our tree lighting on November 20th. So fingers crossed, they've scheduled it for November 16th, weather permitting. So after we light our Christmas lights, all of our lampposts should be lit. So hope for good weather. So that, I'm sorry, it's a little thing, that's exciting. So Hampstead Merchants Association is still planning to host the Santa House this year. Santa plans to visit War Memorial Park for the tree lighting ceremony on Friday, November 20th at 7 p.m. Afterwards, he will greet children from inside the Santa House while everybody observes social distancing guidelines. So the children will stand outside the Santa House.
So much for my update.
Then Santa will travel back to the North Pole for final Christmas preparations. You can add too. Santa plans to return to Hampstead and greet more children during the first 3 Friday and Saturday evenings of December. Some details will be posted on the town Facebook page. And our commercial and residential projects can continue to move forward. New prospects for businesses are being explored. And then the Carroll County Commissioners authorized a release of an additional $500,000 Carroll County rebound funds specifically for retail stores. And Carroll County is also the first in the state to roll out the Maryland Strong Economic Recovery Initiative, which allots $1,202,501 additional dollars for Carroll restaurants. Both programs opened for first come, first served applications on November 3rd at 3 p.m. Previous Carroll Rebound awardees, which are some of our businesses that are retail stores or restaurants, may apply. Our local restaurants and stores have been emailed this information and encouraged to apply. Unfortunately, Hampstead is not immune from nationwide struggles of chain restaurants and stores due to the COVID-19 restrictions. Pet Value will be closing all their stores, including the Hampstead Marketplace location, by the end of the year. The parent company of Wendy's and Pizza Hut has declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They have not released a list of closures yet, so the impact to Hampstead is not yet to be determined. But on that side, then, good news, Hampstead Day will return to Main Street on May 29th, 2021. The town's working with the Lions Club to plan the 48th annual Hampstead Day celebration. So more details to follow. Hillcrest Tower has been disconnected from our water system and drained. Request for bids for the removal of the tower will be released on Friday, November 13th, and due on Friday, December 4th by 2 p.m. So thanks to Public Works. Thanks, Kevin. You've done a very good job.
Thank you, Tammy. Oversight reports. Deb, you want to lead off?
Sure. Planning and Zoning Commission met on Wednesday, October 28th, right? There is a new business, Mom and E-Boutique, 1000 South Main Street. Excuse me, we approved a temporary banner and a sign, as well as a new sign for Resch Family Dentistry on North Main. We also approved the internal illumination for the Dollar General sign. And we introduced the concept plan of the Hampstead Volunteer Fire Department expansion. And that was really all we had.
Okay. The fire department's finally moving forward.
They are. They're gonna do it in 3 phases. The first phase will be to build the back building, which will be a temporary location for the trucks, and then they're gonna demolish the existing building and rebuild it, and then phase 3, the temporary building will become a social hall building. And they said they are within their budget of under $6 million.
Good. And staying on Main Street.
And staying on Main Street.
Positive.
From the plans, it looks beautiful.
Good. Wayne?
The Hampstead train station's working on how we're going to do our annual meeting. It's probably going to be virtual this year. The Tree Commission plans their fall tree planting on November 21st at 8 a.m. We're going to plant more willow trees on Willow Street. And that's all I have.
Okay, Marlene.
Just a reminder that there will be no Hampstead Farmers Market Christmas Market this year at St. John's.
Bummer. I need my cookies. Joe.
Okay, Oden Kemp Park, the EV charging stations have been commissioned and are ready for use. And as for the chief sites, Memorial Park and War Memorial Park, both of these program open space grants have been approved by the General Assembly and have been placed in front of the Board of Public Works for approval. That's all I got.
Good. Dave?
Okay, water. October 2020 average water usage was 350,000 gallons per day. November 2020 average water usage so far was 329,000 gallons per day. Rainfall total for October 2020 was 2.6 inches, and rainfall total so far for November 2020 is 0.12. That's it.
Why are we using so much less water?
We believe the number dropped substantially after our Friday night water leak on Lower Beckley's Hill. We believe that pipe may have been leaking somewhat for a while. And it finally completely went when the chief found it that night.
Good. Chief Snyder.
Good evening, everyone. For the month of October, with reference to traffic safety, we actually had 0 reportable accidents, 4 minor property damage only. We deployed our speed sign at 5 different locations over a total of 31 days. Traffic enforcement, we conducted 14 selective enforcements over a 27-hour period. 6 citations and 60 warnings were issued during that, and overall traffic enforcement, there were 34 citations and 94 warnings issued. 816 property checks were made of businesses and schools. With reference to serious crime, we had 1 burglary reported, 1 theft, and 1 second-degree assault. With reference to the burglary, there was no arrest made. However, once the individuals responsible were identified, the victim declined any kind of prosecution on that. So that's essentially exceptionally clear. 3 adults were taken into custody for traffic violations, 1 for a DUI, and 1 adult was arrested for second-degree assault. With reference to training, we conducted 125 hours of training during the month of October. Some of the topics included cell phone photography, Cannabis 101, pedestrian safety. Our 2 first-line supervisors, Corporal Cranshaw and Corporal Bannock, they completed their first-line supervisor training at the state mandates, so they've been certified as first-line police supervisors, in Maryland. We conducted anti-bias training, child abuse and neglect training, arrest, search and seizure, ethics, officer wellness, human trafficking. We had an officer certified to instruct police departments in de-escalation techniques. We also conducted courtroom testimony training and domestic violence training. That's everything.
Quite a laundry list, thanks. My report, hard to believe, but about a month ago we had an outdoor meeting of the Hampstead Merchants Association, and we were at the Galloping Goose Winery. That was well attended. It was good to see so many business people out there and for us to be able to interact with them. Tammy mentioned the new business development. We even had a couple meetings today. Hopefully we bear fruit with from those meetings here in the next couple months, and obviously we'll be announcing them publicly in short order. We'll see how that goes in the short run and in the near term, or in the long term. So just stay tuned for that. We did have a closed session to talk about one of those businesses relocating to Hampstead before this session tonight, which will I guess, explain in more detail with our required disclosure at next month's council meeting. And then, as you can see on Main Street, Christmas prep is underway. The elves, otherwise known as the Hampstead Public Works Department, are hard at work putting up garland and bows and ready for Santa to come down on a fire truck on Friday, November 20th. As Tammy said, it'll be a lot different this year, we think. The Santa will be in the shed, the kids will be outside, there'll be social distancing, there will be no Spring Garden Elementary 5th grade band for the first time ever. There'll be no Manchester Valley Choral Society, largely because the schools aren't, in and practicing those things. And who knows with the current spike how things will transition, but we anticipate it'll be a little bit of a scaled down event because there's no Christmas market either, but at least we want to carry on the tradition of Christmas. The kids have been through a lot. They ought to be able to see Santa Claus safely, and we'll figure it out as we go.
And I just would like to add for that, with all of our lights and our lampposts decorated, the live nativity in front of Matthews, we just want people to know that if they do not want to attend the event, they can drive through. We're going to have Christmas music playing probably till about 8:30. So people that just want to drive through Main Street or drive around Black Rock and see everything and see the lights, that way they can safely drive and not leave their car if they'd like.
After Santa leaves, because we got the fire truck blocking that juggy
after
Black
Santa.
Rock.
Right.
Yeah. So, and obviously they'll be up until after New Year's. So, we're going to make it as festive as we can under the circumstances. Everybody's been through enough of this year. That's my report. I don't think there's any unfinished business. Under new business, we have the approval of fiscal year 2021 budget revision in the water fund to allow for the increase of the bond that we talked about in the public hearing. We're going to we have money already sitting in the water capital fund for that water main that runs down Lower Beckleysville. With the low bid that we got in for the other main work that we're going to do that are cross streets off of Main Street, plus the interest rates, then it made sense to go ahead and get this done all at the same time. So we need to move $230,000 out of that to be determined column into the 2021 column.
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion of that? Because it's a budget transfer, it should be a roll call.
Okay. Councilwoman Duff?
Yes.
Councilwoman Painter?
Yes.
Councilman Renahan?
Yes.
Councilman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Unglesby?
Yes.
All right, then the other piece of it was because of all that, we actually started this work early, so some of it's taking place now before we get into cold weather, and then because it comes down to using bypass pipe, which is above ground and subject to freezing, but they're going to start.
I have not heard from them, so I am anticipating that we will probably be starting in the spring.
All right, so maybe we're starting in the spring, but we thought it best to put some debt service into the 2021 budget to pay the interest for the bonds, because we'll be drawing it down in stages. It'll be minimal, but Cheryl and I were doing a quick calculation that I actually had them starting in November, so it's $12,500 that we would remove from the reserve to the debt service for the water mains 2021 bond.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Deb. Any further discussion? One more roll call. All right.
Councilwoman Duff?
Yes.
Councilwoman Painter?
Yes.
Councilman Renahan?
Yes.
Councilman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Unglesby?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other new business? And then the ordinances and resolutions is in the adoption of Ordinance 537, which is the ordinance concerning a general obligation bond for the removal and replacement of water mains and service lines on specific streets. And we want to obviously amend this bond to add the $230,000 to it, changing it from $740,000 to $1,070,000. So, Wayne, you're the guy who's parliamentarian.
Make a recommendation that we adopt ordinance 537. Since we have a second.
Second.
All right.
Make a motion that we amend the ordinance from $740,000 to $1,070,000.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion of that? And as I said, we'll be drawing it down in stages. Interest rate 2.95% and 20-year AM. So it's look like a good deal to get it done. Take advantage of all this, and like I said, button up all the deferred maintenance that's been in our water system for years.
I would
Got it.
like to personally thank you all for doing it. I have lost 2 Thanksgivings and a Christmas Eve down there. So it is a problematic piece of pipe. I talked to Mid-Atlantic Utilities, and they believe that they installed Class 50 pipe instead of Class 52. And that's why it literally blows half-dollar holes in the pipe and then splits right down the middle. And that's why we believe it was leaking somewhat earlier, because we fixed that and the water pumping dropped way down. So it's a blessing to get rid of that section of pipe.
And we still need to get a bid from Mid-Atlantic amongst others, but
Yeah, we'll be working with Christie to get that bid on the street here.
Promptly. So, motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Public comments. Doug?
Parking on Main Street is a premium, I'm sure, but I'd like the council to consider removing one parking spot on the south side of Main Street, just north of Shiloh.
Yep, I'm with you. It's hard to get out there with the police station on one side and the White House on the other.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Yep, move that sign back.
I tell you, you can't believe the number of times I've had near misses, but I've been going up Gill Avenue now to miss that.
Well, as I go home now, working from here, I understand that concern. The other one we got to look at, Tammy, and I think that we is coming out of, when we get the road, we can start doing this kind of stuff when the state turns it over. The other one is coming out of J&P on the left-hand side there. That's too close.
We're actually meeting about tomorrow.
Okay.
I think we scheduled that.
Oh yeah, coming out by the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I was late tonight because I was enjoying Main Street. I'm driving up and down.
And not bumping all over the place.
I think you folks all did a great job, even though it's been 3 years, and I've complained a lot about my bumper, my shocks and so forth, but it's great. We get the lights on, it's going to be beautiful.
And your light's going to be lit for Christmas?
Well, if anybody wants to volunteer, we'll start next week.
Our elves, man, who knows? We might have to send them up and help you out. Ma'am, you're a new face, but do you have anything?
My kids love the decorations. They noticed as soon as, we're right on Main Street. So my kids noticed as soon as those garlands started going up, went, Christmas is coming.
Very nice.
That's great.
Good. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll have to put a speed camera or two up on Main Street now because it's too smooth and it'll be too fast. And,
You already have the cameras.
they may be sitting behind them in the not too distant future, but good problem to have given where we started to where we are today. So, and there's a lot of thanks to go around with everybody who dealt with it, from the people who live on Main Street, people who drive on Main Street, to everybody in here who dealt with it every single day, and the great job that C.J. Miller did working with the state. They really went above and beyond, and hopefully, I think that was a home field advantage for us with them being so local.
Gosh, I just remember all those public hearings at the fire department and the library.
And the alternating one way, and then the guys from JP or CJ came in and basically, you don't need that. So that was a godsend. Any other comments? A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.